Hibbert looking strong again in the middle. But on the inside, Peter Narsa taking the hole shot.
That stud boy hole shot goes to Peter Narsa, and we are racing towards the U.S. Air Force Flyway. Here comes Tucker Hibbert.
Well, you've got two winners. Narsa winning in round 15, Hibbert winning in round 16 here at Grand Geneva. They battling it out, but Hibbert going to work his way up front.
That's right. Tucker takes the lead, and now it's Peter Narsa battling right there with, I believe, Tim Tremblay. Narsa now down at the bottom of the track gets into second spot, and he'll begin to try to reel in the T-train.
Oh, and a little contact there between Tremblay and Narsa.
Early in the day, and they're already rubbing elbows, and Tremblay gets away, and up the hill they go, and here comes Ross Martin.
Martin charging hard, too. It's going to be Hibbert out front. Here's the battle again. Look at Martin. Martin trying to make up some ground on Narsa, but not able to get around yet. What's interesting, there was contact between Tremblay and Narsa early on. Tremblay came out on top of that little battle.
He sure did, and now Ross Martin in the battle for third on your screen is trying to get around Peter Narsa. It's Hibbert, it's Tremblay, it's Narsa, it's Martin, and then the aforementioned Adam Renheim trying to get involved in this battle as well.
I talked to Ross Martin early this morning. He was like a caged animal. I mean, this is his backyard. He wants to get on the podium so bad here, trying hard here in this first round of qualifying.
Saw Corin Todd there for a second, battling with Adam Renheim.
A love nudge a couple of times from behind there.
That was definitely a love nudge, no doubt about it. Look at the big air here in Lake Geneva as they make their way up the hill once again. That's Peter Narsa in third, trying to get back up to Tim Tremblay in second, as everybody tries to make up 3 seconds on the T-train.
That flyaway at the top, not quite as big as it was in round 16. They're keeping their skis and tracks on the ground a tad bit more before they get to the top of the hill. But down they come. There you see Narsa. Narsa charging hard, trying to hold on to some of the positions that he has, and there's your race leader.
Look at him fishtailing towards the bottom of the hill. He'll come around that FXR final turn and over the Amsoil finish line. 4 laps to go for Tucker Hibbert, but that battle back there for fourth continues, and third right in front of him as well.
Now there's Narsa in third, then it's Ross Martin in fourth, and right behind is Corin Todd, who's got a problem.
That's Peter Narsa, problem with the sled there.
Tough break for the driver out of Sweden. Yeah, he looked down, so we'll have to see if we can get a follow-up on the racetrack, but a tough break for Peter Narsa.
That was our third place racer, meaning Ross Martin will move into third. And that continues to be Tim Tremblay on that number 11 sled, a former champion himself at the bottom of the hill. Tremblay on the number 11 is in second right now, trying to track down Tucker Hibbert.
And he's 4 seconds behind. Tremblay looks like he's just running good lines, going to get used to the racetrack, knows that he's probably not going to be able to beat Tucker in a somewhat shorter qualifying heat.
It's 3 laps to go for the T-train, and Carly Applin's right beside the track. Carly?
Guys, watch how these racers use their body weight out on the track. When they're leaning, it's to point their sled in a certain direction. When they're headed uphill or downhill, they'll lean back for more traction. Obviously, just trying to gain advantage over any other rider on the track using that body weight on their sled.
It is all about balance, and nobody is more one with their sled than that man right there. The 10-time champion now, Tucker Hibbert, back up the hill, putting on a show for the fans here in Lake Geneva.
Makes it through the Pertec line there. Still, when they come down that short ram runaway, we've seen them, sliding that tail end around a little bit. It's a little bit warmer today, a lot of man-made snow, meaning that it's going to be really grainy, and it could be very slippery. That track going to slide around a little bit. So like you said, Hawk, balance is everything in this race.
Up the hill goes Tucker Hibbert. The lead is now 4 seconds over Tim Tremblay. At the top of the hill through that Fabian Caterpillar corner, he takes a look over his shoulder to find out just how much time he's got on Tremblay. Over the U.S. Air Force flyaway. Big air once again, kind of a double there now, Mike.
It is. It depends upon how hard you hit it and how far down the hill you come. You're going to either have, and you don't want to land on top of that double, otherwise you could really get pitched. So you've really got to know what you're doing on the downhill. You've got to commit and make the ride.
Down the hill he comes into the FXR final turn. When he hits that Amsoil finish line, Tucker Hibbert will get the white flag. 1 lap to go in this Pro Open qualifier in the final snowcross race of the season.
Hibbert looks over his shoulder, always knows what's going on around him and where he's at on the racetrack. He's got a 3.5-second lead over Tim Tremblay. Tucker, T-Train, picking up where he left off in round 16. He's looking strong here today in round 17 at Lake Geneva.
In round 15, Tremblay set the fast time as far as laps go in the final, but didn't make the podium. Out here in this Pro Open qualifier, he set the fast time in this heat so far as well by a wide margin.
Yeah, he ran a 47.386. That's a good lap around this very demanding racetrack. But like I said, he knows that he can't catch Tucker, just kind of hanging back in second.
Headed for the AMSOIL finish line, Tucker Hibbert will win this Pro Open qualifier just in front of Tim Tremblay, who will come across in second. And out of that FXR final turn, here comes Ross the Boss Martin for third, and Core and Todd will take fourth. So the final race of the season has begun, and Tucker Hibbert has done it again. We'll break and come right back and talk to our winner. This is AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network.
Kyle Pauline, John Stenberg, Andy Leaders, Andrew Carlson, Zach Patton, and Tyler Adams again today
and
racing.
They're racing. Look at them bunched up the hill, and Stenberg with the stud boy hole shot.
Boy, the Makita Skidoo really launched out there. He got a big hole shot. Wow.
And Pauline right on his tail as they all get big air over the Air Force flyaway.
Stenberg pushing the envelope early here. Oh, Kyle just about underneath him.
He sure did.
Almost made the pass.
Saw him setting up that move at the top of the hill, Pauline there.
Trying to set it up here, too, to try to sneak down underneath. But John Stenberg staying pretty tight lined on the inside, not giving Kyle a lot of room to move.
And here comes Lincoln Lemieux getting into this as well. We'll set the field for you as they hit that AMSOIL finish line. Stenberg, Pauline, Lemieux, Jake Scott in fourth, Tyler Adams fifth, Andy Leaders, then Andrew Carlson and Zach Patton.
What a great shot there. You've seen Stenberg working through the rhythm section, then launching up the hill to the Fabic Caterpillar corner. Then he squares, and well, that big downhill is where he's going to launch it off right there.
Looks down at his sled, continues down the hill, Stenberg, and the battle rages for second. Look at Pauline and Lemieux getting started back there. Up the hill they go, through the Pertec line. Lemieux looks to the inside.
Well, Kyle thought he was going to be able to charge and take and attack John Stenberg. Now he's got to play a little defense too, as Lincoln Lemieux again all over the back of the 324 Polaris of Kyle Pauline.
Well, you know, Tucker said it in his interview with Carly a moment ago. They're trying to keep the sleds on the ground as much as possible.
Yeah, we're not seeing as much air as we've seen in round 15 and round 16. Like he said, sometimes going big is faster, sometimes keeping that track on the ground is faster. Wow. And, you know, coming from a guy that should know, staying on the track, that's where the speed's at today.
And suddenly Stenberg's got somebody going around him on the outside. Pauline takes the lead, Mike.
Boy, and look at Lemieux. Lemieux picking right up where Kyle Pauline left off. He's trying to get around the 259 of John Stenberg also.
Pauline to the lead, and Lemieux and Stenberg begin to battle out of the FXR turn, headed for the AMSOIL finish line. 4 laps to go for Kyle Pauline.
Pauline out front, but I'll tell you what, watch them as they come right in front of you here. This is through the rhythm section that's down by the old oak tree, we call it. Man, he just, you know, you watch Lincoln Lemieux so many times during round 15 and 16, we've seen him in the same situation where he's right there, just can't quite get around the guy ahead of him.
He just decided he wanted the outside line, and he took it, and he might have taken second. He does. But here comes Stenberg. They make a little contact, and up the hill they go towards that Pertec line.
Stenberg was going to try charge down underneath, but Lincoln Lemieux just had too much momentum up the hill. Stenberg not able to counter and get back underneath. So as he set him up this time by, it should be Pauline, Lemieux, and Stenberg.
3 laps to go for Pauline, then Lemieux, then Stenberg. Jake Scott and Andy Leaders are your top 5. Good run for Senior Smiley so far as they make their way up the hill. There's Lemieux on the 13. He reeled in Pauline a bit on that uphill.
He sure did. It was about a second and a half at the AMSOIL finish line. Lincoln charging hard.
He certainly is. Down the hill they come. Into the Skidoo sweeper and back up the hill they go. The Pertec line awaits Kyle Pauline, and you see the battle there. Lincoln Lemieux has reeled him in for sure.
When you talk about these sleds, Lincoln, I talked to Steve Shearing this morning, Lincoln is running the longer track here. And then I seen Lincoln later and I said, is the longer track helping you in the uphills or the downhills? He said, you know what? I can't really tell because I can't compare it to the 28. So longer track on that sled, trying to get a little more bite on the ground.
Let's go down to Chelsea beside the racetrack. Chelsea?
One difference between today and a normal day of racing for our pro open riders is they only got one practice session. Usually they get two, which gives them more time to make adjustments, changes, and not have it affect their racing. Today, only one practice, so we'll see what happens for our riders. Back to you guys.
And also, Mike, great point from Chelsea. They're running in, extreme sunlight right now, which is not like they have been in the last couple of rounds.
No, the last couple of rounds it's been overcast, cloudy, and then the finals at night. Here it is very bright out right now. It is partly cloudy here with one lap left to go, but yet these sunshine conditions, and that's the same conditions that they're going to run the final in.
Big air for Pauline and Lemieux, and they head up the hill for the final time.
It was interesting. Kyle Pauline, his pit board said breathe. One of the big things that these guys do, they get so amped up out here, is that they just hold on, and with the adrenaline rush, your heartbeat goes up. Here comes Pauline.
Here comes Lemieux to the inside, Pauline to the outside. Half a lap to go, and Lemieux tries to make his move. Up the hill they go towards the Pertec line. Lemieux to the outside.
Kyle able to hold him off there, but Lemieux trying to go underneath. No, it isn't going to work. These last two corners are going to be huge.
Into the FXR final turn. Can Lemieux make a move underneath? He cannot, and Kyle Pauline will win this Pro Open qualifier. Good win for the 324 out of Ironwood, Michigan. So Pauline, Lincoln Lemieux. Here comes Jake Scott. Good run for Jake Scott on a third there. Andy Leaders will come across next. Then John Stenberg. So a good run and smiles all over the Levi Lavallee trailer right now.
That is a big confidence builder for Kyle Pauline, who did not have a good finish in round 15 nor in round 16. So huge, huge confidence builder.
Let's go down to Chelsea. She's with our winner.
I am right here with the man, Kyle Pauline, taking the win in heat number 2. Now, Kyle, starting out in Geneva, not so great. How does that motivate you to do better here in round 17?
You know, it's the last day of the year, and I'm just looking to go have fun out here. You know, like try to keep the pressure light and just do the best that I can. I mean, Geneva comes once a year. We get this sick track, you know, and it's got to make the most of it, you know. So.
Well, it is all smiles down here trackside, so congratulations, Kyle, and we wish you luck coming up in round 2.
Thank you.
So there you have it, Senior Smiley. What a great run for him there on a beautiful day here in round 17. So, one round of heats in the books, and Tucker did it again there in his first one, setting some very smooth, fast lap times there. But we've mentioned it a couple of times. It's all going to come down to that start. A lot is going to come down to the whole shot.
Yep, start is big. And, you know, especially with Tucker in this field, you've got to get out in front of him and make him really work for the lead. So the farther back that, you know, Tucker gets buried in the field, you know, the more that he's got to work to make the passes around more sleds. So we'll watch that as that develops. As he said, start's really important, and we've said that at every racetrack this year. It's so important to get out front for a number of different reasons here, because of the demanding track. Some tracks it's because of visibility. Number of different reasons, but you see these guys working on starts all the time.
We go straight from the Pro Open qualifiers to the Pro Lite final. The final of the year, and the points battle continues to rage. And our fast qualifier is the Rocket. What a race we are in for in a couple of minutes, Mike.
Oh, we watched him in round 16. Incredible. I was kind of chuckling. I talked to Mark and Ron Werner and a couple of other the Skidoo people, and they even chuckled. They said they got a call from the Air Force saying that they had a blip on their radar last night during the Pro Lite final. I've seen a lot of people come down that downhill and go huge. What we've seen Elias Ischel do in round 16, that's got to rank in my top 5 of just crazy rides down the downhill. And it was interesting because Ron Werner said that he asked him, he said, when you went into that corner in the top and you got lined up and said, what did you say to yourself? And he said it kind of went, uh-oh. I might as well go for it, and he did.
You might as well go for it. We're going to break and come back, and they'll all go for it. The Pro Lite Final is next. It's AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram.
Today's sophisticated snowmobile engines demand more of oil. They direct less oil to
Hands, and we are about to go racing. And they're racing in Geneva. Up the hill they go.
Big charge. That's Jake Angove. Oh, look
Wow,
who's going
look at
with
Montana
them.
Jess.
Montana Jess.
Oh,
Ishel.
make your own lane, Montana.
Once they get those coroplasts out of my way,
Yeah.
he's going.
Jake Angove got the stud boy hole shot, but Elias Ishel took the lead.
Well, he loved that downhill in round 16. He's taking off again and just flying that sled down the U.S. Air Force Flyway out to an early lead.
Now, Mike, tell me the situation once again. Elias has to finish in front of Angove, and if he does, he'll take that spot in the points. Is that right?
He should. He was only 8 points behind Jake Angove, so he's got to be at least a couple of 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 places ahead of Jake Angove to move into second place in points.
And it's first and second for those two right now as Montana Jess and Max Tyfair are third and fourth. The Rocket is out front, and he is all about excitement. Ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on this young man as he heads towards the Air Force Flyaway.
He'll go big here. Watch him as he goes downhill again. Now, Elias Ishel doing what he needs to do if he would like to move up into second place in points. But then again, to counterpoint, Jake Angove doing what he needs to do. Needs to stay right behind him, and he should be okay.
Down the hill, we call it the Ram Runaway. And Elias Ishel is 17 years old from Norway. He came in a big way last year in Duluth, and since then has provided so many great moments to snowcross fans. He's trying to do it again here in Lake Geneva in the final race of the season.
Changed that front line just a bit. Went double, double, double into the corner before the uphill. We've seen him before where he's gone huge. There's the 765, the red plate. Montana Jess going up the hill, and Montana sitting in third. It would be awesome to see Montana on the podium because he's been on just about every podium all year long.
I was just watching off the screen at the Elias Ishel Rocket nearly lose it coming down the big hill as we continue to watch the battle right there. Montana Jess just in front of Max Tyfair. Now in round 16, Mike's Tyfair was extremely fast. I expect that he's going to continue to get faster as the race goes on. That's what he's done all weekend long.
Like you said, that's exactly what happened in round 16 and in round 15. He seemed like he was always there pressuring. In round 15, really wasn't able to make the pass. In round 16, he got around some drivers that we thought he was going to have a challenge with, but he was able to take and move up. We'll see what happens here.
Through the front stretch, and they've got 7 laps to go in the final Pro Lite feature of the year, and there is your champion, Montana Jess, trying to hang on to that third and final podium spot, but here comes Max Tyfair, and he takes the spot.
That's exactly what he did in that last round. He waited, was very patient, able to make a pass. Now him and Montana Jess go just about bar to bar in the downhill.
Into the bottom of the hill, the skidoo sweeper, they'll make that right-hand turn and head back up the hill. And back goes Jess to the lead. I should say into third. He'll take the spot back from Max Tyfair.
I mean, I think there's a real drive in Montana Jess, knowing that he's sitting comfortably with that points lead, going to be the champion, but still, for the last race of the year, he wants to be on the podium. He's got to stay ahead of Max Tyfair to do that.
And you know, you make a great point. The pressure is off to win the championship. Now it's about going out and just running fast lap after lap. That's Montana Jess on the 765 from Westminster, Massachusetts. Down by the racetrack is our Carly Applin. Carly?
Right behind me, this rhythm section, it's a triple, double, triple. Earlier on in the race, Elias Ishel, Jake Angove tripling that end of this. Now they've backed off because if you come up short, you're casing it. So they're slowing down and just doubling it. Guys,
down the hill he comes, fishtailing the Rocket Elias Ishel. The lead now is almost 5 seconds for this young man. Out of the FXR turn, heads for the AMSOIL finish line. 5 laps to go for Elias Ishel.
Now, I want you to watch his riding style because when he's out in front right now, he is riding a little more reserved and riding more comfortably. You can see when he's really pushing it, he's out over those handlebars a little bit more, and he's very, very aggressive. Here you can see he's checked up just a bit. Watching, not going nearly as huge down the downhills as he was earlier.
As he continues to lead this race, the discussion continues in the pits. Will this young man move up to Pro Open next year? It's still to be determined, but if we look at what he's done on the racetrack, a lot of check marks say he probably could.
And the question goes beyond that. If he does move up, how will he do in Pro Open? That'll be a big question too.
And the question still is who's going to get third, because Jess and Tyfair continue to battle. That's what's on your screen right now. Montana Jess on the 765.
Tyfair just about had his sled sideways at the bottom of the Ram runaway, trying everything he can to try to get around the 765 Artie Cat of Montana Jess, just not able to quite catch him and make the pass again.
4 laps to go in the Pro Lite final here at Lake Geneva. Up the hill, the 765 of Jess. Into the Fabian Caterpillar corner. They both take the inside line. You saw for a second Jake Angove, who's in second just for a moment on your screen. Over the Air Force flyaway. Big air from Max Tyfair. And he'll try the outside line this time.
See if he comes down, tries to sneak back underneath. No, he wasn't anywhere close to trying to make that move. Just kind of got out of shape a little bit on the bottom of the hill and still out in front. There's your race leader.
3 laps to go for Elias Ischuel. And there's that battle continuing. Montana just cannot get rid of Max Tyfair. Down the front stretch they go in front of this great crowd in Lake Geneva.
Those two guys running just about identical lap times, lap after lap after lap. And you know, you have to look at Max Tyfair. Tyfair's probably getting a little frustrated that he's been there, just can't quite close the door. Well, I'm here. Don't worry about me. I'm right behind you, Montana.
Snowmobiles do not have bumpers. At least I didn't think they did.
Well, not like they used to.
Down the hill they come. The battle continues. Will Max try the inside again? He does. He can't make the move stick yet, but he'll set him up again at the top of the hill.
See, and he still can't come back down underneath when he gets up at the Pertec line.
Oh, he's got the outside, which will be the inside, and he takes the spot. But here comes Jess again.
Well, he carried a lot of speed. He's lucky he was able to check up and hold on to that.
And Max Tyfair takes the 3rd spot as we've got 2 laps to go, and they get into lap traffic.
Well, we'll see if Montana Jess again can mount a charge to try and get back on the podium. There is Tyfair going up the hill.
And Angove is right in front of him now, and he may have enough time to reel in that 2nd spot. He'll look to the inside. There is our leader. Elias Ischuel's got 7 seconds on 2nd place right now. The Rocket has the afterburners lit, and he is way out front.
He is, and I can see it in his body style and body language. He's just riding more patiently now, not taking any chances that he was taking early on. He looks over his shoulder once again. You can be sure that Nate on his pit board is telling him exactly where he's at.
Does that mean that Max just took 2nd? I think he did. We've got a new 2nd place rider. The white flag is out for the Rocket, and now for Max Tyfair and Jake Angove. That might figure big into the points battle right there, Mike.
It will. You get 25 points for the win, and that goes down as we go further back in the field. That one I'm going to throw back to the points people. They're going to have to figure that out. But he got around him. Now Angove doing everything he can. Let's see. I didn't see Montana Jess in the picture, but there's your race leader.
There he is, a half a lap away from the end of a great season for the Rocket. He again looks over his shoulder. He heads up the hill towards the Pertec line. The left-hand turn by that beautiful Ram truck. And down the hill he comes for the final time. What a season of excitement this young man has given us. Into the FXR turn for the final time. The flames will fly for the Rocket. Elias Ischuel has won in Lake Geneva. Out of the turn comes Max Tyfair, and 3rd will be Jake Angove. Montana Jess, your champion, will hang on for 4th. Again, the points battle will be very close. We'll find out from the officials who got where, and we'll talk to our winner after a short break. This is AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram.
It was not flagrant. He gets to hold his spot.
It's in the starter's hands. And they're racing in Lake Geneva. Up the hill they go.
Big hole shot in the middle. Is that Narsa? I believe it is. And look at Renheim work on the inside.
Peter Narsa with the stud boy hole shot, but here comes the boss, Ross Murray, to the front.
2 to distinctive lines on the top part of the race course. You see Martin, Narsa on the inside. There's great racing early on here.
We see them go to the bottom of the hill. They make the hard right-hander and back up towards the Pertec line. They are bunched up, and here comes Senior Smiley, Kyle Pauline. He'll look to the inside.
Doesn't look like anybody went to the top of the hill. They can't this first lap. We'll watch them closely in the next lap. Pauline all over the back of Ross Martin.
Ross Martin leads your first lap in Lake Geneva. Kyle Pauline in second. Then it's Renheim, Peter Narsa, and Lincoln Lemieux. Where's Tucker Hibbert?
Tucker Hibbert all the way back. Man, he's back in, I believe, 14th place. Him and Tremblay, they may have gotten together. We're not certain, but it's unusual to see both Tremblay and Hibbert in the back part of the racetrack.
There is your 10-time and current champion, and he's a long way out of this right now, but we've seen him make up differentials before, Mike.
Let me remind you again, last year to make his 100th win, and this year out in Deadwood, he came from behind to win the race. He's got 11 laps left to go. He's the person that could do it.
Look at that. Pauline got crazy coming down the hill. He's trying to take first away from Ross the Boss Martin, but there's Adam Renheim on the Jimmy John sled. He wants a part of that win too.
Renheim looking strong to stay inside, and he's got Lincoln Lemieux behind him. Remember, those two very close in points. Lemieux now sitting in fifth, Renheim in third. That's a good points battle right there.
To the top of the hill, through the Faber Caterpillar corner, and down the hill they come. Again, it's Martin, and the battle between Pauline and Renheim continues. Then Narsa and Lincoln Lemieux in fourth and fifth. But Ross the Boss Martin, who won in Chicago, is out front, and he is looking strong again here today, Mike.
He loves this racetrack. This is his home track. He lives in Burlington, Wisconsin, just down the road. He has done this before here, where he hasn't had a good weekend, but yet comes back to win on Sunday.
We've talked about the battle for second, but suddenly here comes Peter Narsa. He wants third. He's going to try to take it from Adam Renheim over the Amsoil finish line. Second, third, and fourth on your screen as they head up the hill.
Lemieux getting in the battle too. This is going to even make it more fun to watch. Lemieux and the number 311 of Adam Renheim now running 3 and 4. That's a battle for third and fourth in the points.
Lincoln Lemieux has been fast all day long. He took the outside line. Big air over the U.S. Air Force flyaway, and Pauline's got a mirror full right now with Renheim.
Boy, Renheim on the inside. He'd love to get Kyle Pauline between them. Not able to make the pass. Senior Smile still there in second place.
Something you're going to have to keep an eye on. One time during this race, every one of these racers has to go all the way to the top of the hill. It's a wild card, Mike. We'll find out when they play that card a little bit later on. Right now, the battle for second continues.
I think the important thing, speaking about that, is that nobody yet has made it. I see one driver going to the top side right now, but none of your leaders has gone the uphill yet.
Up the hill they go. It's still Martin, then Pauline, then Renheim, with Lincoln Lemieux getting into the battle as well. Lemieux to the outside. Now they head for the U.S. Air Force flyway. Here comes Lemieux into third. Lincoln Lemieux with a power move. He gets squirrely, but he takes third coming down the hill,
so
Mike.
That puts him ahead of Adam Renheim. We'll watch him and see if Renheim can get back in the battle. He's right there. Look at Renheim trying to go back down. He's going to take outside. He's going up.
There goes
Renheim
Adam
going
Renheim.
up.
So he's going to get this out of the way earlier. Now let's go down to Carly Applin beside the racetrack. Carly.
Guys, there is a strategy to taking that Pertec line. A lot of the guys that are in front right now are going to want to wait till the end of the race and continue to extend their lead. They also want to take it solo if possible to avoid any group and keep a clear line of sight. Back to you.
So many decisions to be made. This battle right now between Kyle Pauline and Lincoln Lemieux, that's the battle for second. And I'll tell you, Mike, they've got to decide when they're going up the hill.
They do.
Here comes Lemieux.
Carly said they try to put some distance between each other, but, you know, these guys up front, they're staying all bunched up. The only person pulling away is Ross Martin, now with almost a 5-second lead. But look at Pauline and Lemieux. I mean, they are going bar to bar.
This time they continue on the Pertec line. I thought maybe one of them would go up the hill, but the top three have yet to do it. Ross Martin, the feel-good story of the year. If he wins near his hometown, you better believe it. He's got a 5-second lead now with 6 laps to go.
You think he was excited in Chicago. If he wins here, it is going to be huge with all the fans that he has here.
The top 5 racers on the racetrack have not taken the long way around yet. Number 6 has. That's Adam Renheim.
And so let's just put that in perspective. Renheim was in 4th place when he went up. He's now in 6th place. So how is that going to shake up the top of the order? Well, it's going to be exciting.
As we watch Kyle Pauline, who right now is in 3rd, Senior Smiley. Where's Tucker Hibbert, Mike? Do you see him on the racetrack?
Hibbert right now, as we look back, is now running in 9th place. 9th place. He continues to work his way up.
Your leader's at the top of the hill. Lemieux is at the top of the hill. Pauline elected not to go. He will take the lead.
Well, and look at how Lemieux kept looking over his shoulder to see who was going, and then when he was coming down to make sure he didn't have anybody to run into.
So Narsa, who's in 3rd, and Pauline, who is your leader, have not gone to the top of the hill yet. Ross Martin has. He's in 2nd. Before he went to the top of the hill, it was a 6-second lead. Right now, we've got a new leader. It's Kyle Pauline, but he's got to make that trek to the top of the hill. That will change everything.
Okay, again, let's put this in perspective. Kyle Pauline did not go up. Ross Martin did. Martin had about a 5-second lead. Now he's down about a second, so it's about a 6-second swing. So if you look at Kyle Pauline, if he goes up now, kind of put in perspective where he may slot back in.
He did not go again. The PerTech line. Senior Smiley playing his hand right now. He stays low and stays in the lead. It's an almost second lead as he makes his way out of the FXR final turn. We've got 4 laps to go in Lake Geneva.
He's got to go soon. You can't wait till the end here. He's got to go soon to get to the top of the hill. Oh, and Renheim having a problem back on his sled.
Oh, no, that is huge.
Corey
for Adam
Watkinson
Renheim.
right behind him. I don't think he lost much in the way of space, though. I've seen Watkinson get by him. Nope, he fell back 1 spot. But Hibbert got by him, too, so Hibbert now in 6th.
Here comes Kyle Pauline. Let me reset the order. That's your leader, the 324. Ross Martin in 2nd, Lincoln Lemieux in 3rd, with Peter Narsa in 4th.
Take it up the hill. You got to do it soon, Smiley. Take it up the hill.
And this time he doesn't do it again.
He doesn't do it.
And Ross Martin is now right on his tail. The boss has reeled him in, and he did take that upper line.
Boy, this is not good strategy on the part of Kyle Pauline. I think Kyle needed to go at least a lap ago. Now, the longer he waits, the more his position is limbo.
He's got 3 laps left to do it. He's leading. Tucker Hibbert, by the way, just took his long way around. He's currently in 6th place. We'll see what that does to his standings. But currently, the leader is still Pauline, then Martin, then Lemieux, then Narsa, and Stenberg.
He slotted in right behind Adam Renheim, so Adam was in 7th, Tucker was in 6th. They swapped positions, so you're looking at least a position swap if you're running tight.
How fast is Ross Martin? He's already reeled in Kyle Pauline, who has yet to go to the top of the hill. Ross Martin is on a rail.
His last lap, he was a second faster than Kyle Pauline.
He didn't do it again, Mike. Kyle Pauline may wait till the very last lap to take the long way around.
That's a deal breaker for him. You've got to get up there.
Here we go. Stenberg just went up. Kyle Pauline continues to lead. 2 laps to go in this season of snowcross. And Kyle Pauline is your leader.
And let's watch Stenberg. And here comes Ross Martin. Martin on the outside is going to push the issue.
What kind of horsepower does he have today? Ross Martin is about to take the lead again, and he's already made that trek. And look right there. Here comes Lincoln Lemieux as well. Down the hill they come. A lap and a half to go for Kyle Pauline, Ross Martin, and Lincoln Lemieux.
He's got to go up this time. Man, I'll tell you, let's keep an eye on it.
Unless he's going to wait till the white flag lap, he's got to go now. Pauline heads up the hill. And this time he goes,
He goes up.
There goes Kyle Pauline, meaning Ross Martin retakes the lead.
Now
Lincoln Lemieux back in 2nd.
Let's see where Pauline falls back in here. Most of the guys, it's been a position or 2. Let's watch them as they come back down, and we'll line them up again for the white flag.
The white flag is out. Ross Martin is 1 lap away from the win in Geneva. Lincoln Lemieux currently scored in 2nd, and Kyle Pauline gets back in 3rd. Could it be that strategy got him the podium? We're about to find out. At the top of the hill, through the Fabian Caterpillar corner, Ross Martin heads down the hill for the final time.
One circuit left. Here he works across the U.S. Air Force flyaway. Nothing wild. He knows he's got about a 2-second lead. A good, solid lap around this racetrack. And the win here is Ross Martin's. It would be huge. Coming off a season where he's been banged up, now racing well. He took a win in Chicago. Can he end up with the season with a win here?
2 straightaways to go. Gets to the Makita corner. Now he heads for the FXR final turn. The flames await the Burlington, Wisconsin native. Ross Martin has won round 17 in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Boy, and the crowd here goes wild. Look at the rest of them coming across. Lemieux in second. Kyle Pauline does hold on for a podium. I think he may have given up a position, but he takes up third.
Martin, Lemieux, Pauline, and Narsa will break and come back and talk to our winner on the CBS Sports Network. Tucker. Geneva, up the hill they go. Ross Martin retakes the lead. Lincoln Lemieux back in second. The flames await the Burlington, Wisconsin native. Ross Martin has won round 17 in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Congratulations, Ross Martin, to do this in the final race of the season in your hometown. A roller coaster of a season. What a way to end it all.
Yeah, it's great. You know, I did well in Chicago, but definitely the last race is what everybody remembers. So it was on my top of my list to come out of here with a pretty good finish, and it was definitely hoping for a win, but as the weekend was going on, I would have took any of them spots.
We're going to let you guys celebrate. Back to you in the booth.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Carly. What a great win for Ross Martin. Here is how they finished in the final race of the season, Mike.
Ross Martin taking the win. Big second place for Lincoln Lemieux. That'll move him into third place in points. Pauline, interesting, and then Narsa Stenberg Tremblay. You see him. What a great finish.
What a great way to end the season. The crowd has still gone crazy for Ross Martin. What a fun win, and what a good guy for this sport to end the season like that.
It is. You know, there was doubt about his ankle as we moved on and everything. It's just been an incredible year.
AMS Oil Championship Snowcross, that's how we do it. Check us out at Snowcross on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. We thank you for tuning in all over the world. And for all of your sports update and info, check out CBSSports.com. For Carly Apple and Mike Schroeder and a cast of thousands, my name is Chris Hockey. Thank you for tuning in to the best show on the snow, and we will see you next year, ladies and gentlemen.